Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session on unleashing your Salesforce investment through understanding successful integration patterns that drive business outcomes. My name is Greg Sanderson. I am a principal technical architect here at Salesforce. And today's discussion is intended for existing Salesforce customers and geared towards admins who want to understand integration options, as well as technology leaders focused on strategy. In this discussion, we will touch on the Salesforce platform, including MuleSoft and Heroku, how we think about integration within and across these platforms, and how these products can work together to help you change the pace of innovation, power digital transformation, and drive better, more meaningful digital experiences. As always, please remember that Salesforce is a publicly traded company. This slide is here to remind me that if we should talk about any forward-looking or roadmap content, I should let you know. And to remind you to always make purchasing decisions based on what is generally available in the products today. Okay, let's jump in. At Salesforce, we use the term platform in two ways. One is a more prescriptive way that describes the set of features and solutions that we deliver to help you, our customers, innovate around your customers. You might be familiar with products like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, and others across the top half of this slide. The other way we use the term platform is related to an actual platform as a service, representing the products across the bottom of the slide. Differentiating in this way is key for you to understand in order to maximize your investment in the Salesforce platform and to find new and innovative ways to use it. One item is the Salesforce platform itself, sometimes referred to as a high productivity application platform as a service. And by the way, if you're using Salesforce today, this is something that you'd already know. Another is Heroku, which might be referred to as a more high control application platform as a service. And then of course MuleSoft, which is an integration platform as a service. Both Heroku and MuleSoft can easily connect to the Salesforce environment you are already using today. We're going to cover all three of these great platforms in more detail today and talk about how they complement one another. So let's start with the Lightning platform. If we look at that platform a bit deeper, you can see that there are various layers that make up the Lightning platform or platform as a service. There are many things we do at the infrastructure and security layers and within the application and administrative side of Salesforce to uphold your trust. In other words, so you can trust us with your data. You can see this represented as that outer trust boundary. Now, there are a number of services and tools within the platform that allow you to build and tailor solutions that are unique to you, from configuration and using declarative tools all the way up to options for the developer. And it starts with storing your data. And then through the metadata architecture, we can abstract away all the complexities of working with that data. It powers much of the point-and-click configuration in Salesforce, and it lets you configure and build in the way you need to meet business requirements. There are a lot of great services and tools available to you, things that come out of the box without you even having to think much about it. Search, identity, field history tracking, automatic mobile capabilities, and more. There is logic and intelligence included here through Einstein and the entire umbrella of artificial intelligence and machine learning tools available. Then at the user experience layer, we cover things like mobile and collaboration and the Lightning user experience and UI customizations. Of course, you can also see the tooling that is available for building solutions, whether you use the point-and-click builder tools or create customizations through pure development or both, the tools and capabilities are there. And what I covered thus far makes up that high productivity platform as a service. And when I say platform, this is the platform that our ISV partners build on to deliver solutions in the App Exchange, and it's also the platform that you can use to build custom applications and experiences. And it's the platform that supports our software as a service offerings, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Communities, and that powers or enhances a whole range of other products like Quip and MyTrailhead. Now, one big piece I didn't yet talk about is integration. How Salesforce powers integration with your ecosystem of applications, services, and data. Salesforce has always been built from the beginning API first. Everything you build is API enabled, powered by our open API platform, with the ability to integrate across those services, data stores, and third-party applications in your ecosystem. In addition, there's Heroku and MuleSoft, two very important platforms in their own right that really broadens that integration story. And both are natural extensions of Salesforce and can complement your existing investments in Salesforce orgs. Let's start with a quick look at Heroku. Heroku is a platform for developing modern apps that developers love to use. It's a platform as a service built on top of Amazon Web Services. And what makes it special is that with Heroku, developers can focus on building apps while Heroku manages all the other components of software development. So AWS brings the servers, storage, networking, and virtualization, and then Heroku manages that infrastructure, as well as all the other services your team needs to build, test, deploy, monitor, and scale apps. Developers love using Heroku because they can focus on just managing their apps, they can focus on innovation, they can write in any modern language they choose, and Heroku takes care of the infrastructure and operational side of things. This is a more high-control environment than what we see with the Lightning platform, but that is important to understand about Heroku. Heroku becomes that great developer experience without sacrificing access to the best of open source development, and when relevant, can easily connect and integrate into your existing Salesforce org. More on that in a moment. Then we have MuleSoft, which connects applications, data, and devices, whether the data is in Salesforce or not, on-premise or in the cloud. MuleSoft provides a unified set of capabilities that support a wide variety of business use cases, enabling any organization to take advantage of API-led connectivity. With one platform for integration and APIs, you can integrate and unify your data wherever it resides, on-premises within your four walls, or in the cloud, or maybe somewhere in between. You can empower your business with APIs, meaning allow those teams to reuse APIs and integration assets, and you can create connected experiences faster, meaning you can deliver on those connected experiences through a wide range of templates and pre-existing assets, connectors, and reusability for many applications. Those templates and connectors include Salesforce, so you can leverage MuleSoft with your existing Salesforce orgs. So now that we've level set on these three technologies, let's start looking at common integration patterns and the solutions these platforms support. Whether it is your job specifically to think about integration and build connectivity amongst systems, or you're a business user setting out to accomplish tasks within business processes that cross multiple systems, integration is important. And there are a lot of ways to quote-unquote accomplish integration. So what I'd like to do here is talk about some of the more common integration patterns that we see and our customers are faced with when approaching integration to drive any given business outcome. There is synchronous data propagation, which is really about reading and writing real-time API requests. This is typically a two-way data exchange between systems, like when one system requests data from another in order to compute some logic or make a decision. Being synchronous means the two systems have a coordinated way to communicate and exchange the data. Think about doing a credit check for a customer. One system might send the customer's profile information to another system, which does the computation and returns the credit score. Then there is asynchronous data propagation, which is typically event-driven. This is asynchronous, meaning the sender doesn't necessarily coordinate with systems receiving the data and may not even care whether those systems receive the data at all. Think about the example of a banking customer transferring a large amount of money between accounts. There might be a rule in place that triggers a notification event anytime that happens. Another system, maybe it's a security service run by the bank, or even a system like Salesforce, they might decide to listen for such events and act on that event to see if that type of behavior is normal for the customer. Next is data replication, and it's just what it sounds like. The data replication might be used for data backups, or the need to run custom apps that require access to the data but in their own data store. Any way you look at it, it involves replicating data from one location to another. Data virtualization answers the question on how to use or view data from one system without actually copying the data to another system. One example might be when you want to combine multiple data sources into a common access point or single pane of glass user interface. meaning you can see data from multiple sources in one place as a system of engagement without having to manually access data or copy data from all the different systems independently. Data federation allows you to have a single reference point, like a global ID, for like data from a variety of systems. Think about a customer-related record, whether that be contact, an account record, a lead. You might want to have a way to group or marry up all of the records across multiple systems, maybe even multiple Salesforce orgs, as they relate to that single person. And finally, there is an app network. In other words, having a single framework in place to build, manage, run, and scale an enterprise network of APIs, microservices, or shared data services. This would mean services that are managed within a common framework, but reusable for a variety of purposes and across many applications. Now, how do we start thinking about those integration patterns in the world of Salesforce? We break it down into either platform integration or enterprise integration. And one does not preclude you from using the other, but this is a good way to think about organizing those patterns and how to approach connecting systems. The Salesforce platform, in and of itself, has a lot of great integration options, API-driven and purpose-built tools that allow our customers to unlock Salesforce data. Common use cases include reading and writing Salesforce data via our APIs, chaining together larger business processes that cross multiple systems, using Salesforce as a system of engagement, so while the data may not live in Salesforce, you can see it and act on it in the Salesforce user experience. Or one more, writing Salesforce data to a backup or archive location, and then keeping track of the ongoing changes. These are all integration use cases that we see every day when talking to you, our customers. On the other hand, you have MuleSoft, which we began talking about previously, to run the enterprise integration side of things. The point of MuleSoft is to make it easy to connect applications, data, and devices on-premises or in the cloud. This is about an API-led strategy, creating the application network of purpose-built, reusable APIs and having the management, security, and governance layered on as part of the overall framework. In this case, Salesforce and its platform integration options become one of many options and applications that MuleSoft can bring together in the application network. Again, it's important to note you don't need MuleSoft to do integration on the Salesforce platform, just like you don't need Salesforce to run MuleSoft. They can work independently of each other. However, they have been optimized to work together, and there certainly is a value multiplier effect to using MuleSoft with your current Salesforce investment. Let's go a bit deeper on integration. Think about those common patterns from the previous slides. We at Salesforce have aligned our product investment to these areas, with at least one way to achieve each pattern with one of our tools. While some of these tools might be new to you, it's important to understand that your existing Salesforce investment supports them. And that starts with the Salesforce APIs. Salesforce is and always has been an API-first architecture. It was built from the ground up with integration as a key requirement from the start. This allows programmatic access to data, which is typically required for connectivity and custom coding both on and off platform. For example, an external system might make a call into Salesforce to get information about an account using our APIs, like in the synchronous data propagation pattern. In addition to those programmatic capabilities, those APIs also power a number of declarative integration options, one of those being external services. External services allows you to declaratively connect to the APIs from other systems so that the logic can be brought into Salesforce as part of a business process. For example, let's say you need to perform a credit check on a customer, like I used in an earlier example. The credit check business process, including the data entry, can be handled by a flow in Salesforce. But as part of that flow, external services could be used to call into the credit bureaus to actually perform the credit check. Data collected as part of the flow is sent off to the credit bureau, and then the credit score is returned back into the flow, and the process continues as needed. Next is Heroku Connect. We spoke earlier about Heroku, and one of the great value propositions is the ability to build custom apps while not having to manage the infrastructure and operations, and doing so in a way that provides proximity and ease of integration to your existing Salesforce data. In Heroku, you can quickly and easily deploy a scalable database and through declarative tooling set up a bidirectional data connection between that database and your Salesforce objects. This means the ability to read and write back Salesforce data like in the data replication pattern. For example, you could run a polished, customer-facing mobile experience on Heroku, but have the data between that app and Salesforce in sync at all times. Customers might call into the support team that's using Service Cloud, and so it makes sense to keep what the customer sees in the custom mobile app and what the agent sees in Salesforce Service Cloud in sync. Next, there is Salesforce Connect. You would use this option when you want to see data in Salesforce. Let's say customer financial data that is stored in a core banking application, but then not actually store it in Salesforce. This is data virtualization. Salesforce Connect lets you treat the data almost like Salesforce data because you can report on it, use it in process, put security around it, build a UI around it, and build relationships with Salesforce standard and custom objects. Because the external data is visible in Salesforce, this allows you to treat Salesforce as your system of engagement and not have to jump from system to system to do your work. Now, Platform Events is a good tool when you'd like to build an event-driven architecture that can handle real-time integration, especially at high volumes. This is the asynchronous data propagation pattern. Platform Events provides a publish and subscribe model, so Salesforce can publish or push events out and external systems can listen for them. But Salesforce can also subscribe or listen to events from other systems. And because events work great with declarative workflow tools like Flow and Process Builder, as well as Apex triggers for anyone that's a developer out there, this is also a great option if you need to build logic into your integration, either before those events are published out from Salesforce or after an event is received by Salesforce from an external system. And then we have change data capture, which is similar to platform events, and that is based off of the same high volume event architecture and using a lot of the same infrastructure and technology. So it can perform at enterprise scale. What's different is that instead of defining the event payload like you do with platform events, you specify which objects you want to fire change events for. And rather than an event being fired based on the logic you define in a process, Salesforce will simply always fire a change event anytime a record in the specified object is created, updated, deleted, or undeleted. It's very easy to set up, but it's a powerful tool that helps our customers with use cases such as data replication and data archival, and for those more complex auditing and compliance needs. Okay, so all of Salesforce's integration capabilities ultimately leverage the foundational building blocks of Salesforce platform, our core APIs. As I mentioned previously, we have since our inception prioritized having an open platform with APIs designed to make it super easy to get data into and out of the platform. But not all systems are designed API first. And this is something we've learned over the last 20 years as we've become an essential part of enterprise architectures. Furthermore, even when we could connect to other systems, the governance of that connectivity was left up to you. So how can we enable businesses to unlock the value in other data platforms to create an API ecosystem that allows them to achieve the same kind of API-led connectivity Salesforce was built on and introduce a governance model that aligns to the enterprise architecture standards? Well, that's where MuleSoft comes in. This was strategic for Salesforce when it acquired MuleSoft in 2018 because while all of the Salesforce integration options are powerful and useful in their own right, they are Salesforce-centric. But one of the cool things is that MuleSoft has an out-of-the-box connector for Salesforce and these integration options. You can layer MuleSoft on top of Salesforce APIs, Platform Events, Salesforce Connect, Change Data Capture, to easily make your existing Salesforce investment part of your larger integration initiatives. In fact, MuleSoft has hundreds of connectors and ways to integrate across different systems and technologies that run both on-prem or in the cloud. And if you think about the integration patterns we discussed earlier, this is where the app network management fits in. Let's look at an example showing a current state approach to integration versus an API-led approach using MuleSoft. This use case involves building an app for mortgage loan officers. Maybe it's something like a mortgage approval app. Here's what a typical approach to integration might look like. You connect systems like the loan origination system, borrower data system from Oracle, Salesforce, and the mortgage servicing platform to build the desktop app, which works fine. But now let's say you need a mobile app that uses the same exact information. The developers can't use their previous work. And this stays true for every subsequent project or even worse, system replacement, which requires rebuilding all the connections to it. This is time consuming. It means your developers need to spend time writing and rewriting custom code, and it's not fixing the issue of increasing requests on IT, which means backlogs grow and the problems get worse. Over time, this one use case becomes more and more complex. Less time and money is allocated to innovation, and more time and money is spent on maintenance. What ends up happening is that the architecture becomes less flexible, less agile, and less responsive to change. As we have seen in the world these days, change is going to happen, and organizations need to be ready, prepared, and flexible. With all of this complexity, how easy can it be to bring a new experience or system to the table? For some of you, this might look familiar. It lacks consistency, it's a maintenance nightmare, it's not easy to change, and it certainly isn't future-proof. There is a better way. MuleSoft's approach, called API-led connectivity, provides a platform for connecting and exposing those integration assets. With this approach, rather than connecting things point to point, every asset becomes a managed API, a modern API which makes it discoverable through self-service. Let's look at the same project as before with this new approach. In this example, you unlock data from loan, borrower, payments, and customer systems by putting APIs in front of them. These form a system API layer which provides consistent, managed, and secure access to back-end systems. Then, you can build on the system APIs by combining and streamlining loan data from multiple sources into a creditworthiness API, then similar apps for payment and customer data APIs. These process APIs take core assets and combine them with business logic to create a higher level of value. Importantly, these objects are now useful assets that can be further reused. And then finally, an API is built that brings together the credit, payment, and customer data, delivering what's specifically needed by the web app. These are experience APIs that are designed specifically for consumption by a specific end-user app or device. And we can see in this case that both the web app and the mobile experience are leveraging the same set of process and system APIs. These APIs allow developers to quickly innovate on projects by consuming the underlying assets without having to know how the data got there. In fact, if anything changes to any of the systems or processes underneath, it shouldn't require any changes to the app itself. Your front-end developers shouldn't have to care if you're using SAP or Oracle. Now, with API-led connectivity, when you are tasked with integrating in a new experience, such as a Heroku app for customer or employees, or you are building a system of engagement layer in Salesforce, you have reusable assets to build from, eliminating a lot of the work. And over time, you build an application network, project by project. It's a way to connect applications, data, and devices through APIs that expose data on that application network. And it's a layered approach that provides more flexibility, reusability, and discoverability to other consumers from your organization. The value to using MuleSoft, just to summarize, means more resilient operations since you have visibility into the platform at any point in time. It means that the speed of delivery increases and APIs are reused, which equates to a faster time to market, you can be more responsive to changes, and you can keep projects and budgets on track. It provides a future-proof foundation for your applications and your business as you grow, and it ensures a proper security and governance model is in place. So how do we bring this all together? How do we deliver on the promise of engaging experiences, but one that is also seamless and connected? We've learned that MuleSoft opens up a variety of new and valuable connected experiences that are often incredibly difficult to piece together without the right integration framework or app network management in place. You can connect to all of those enterprise systems and data stores you are using today, both on-prem and in the cloud. And Salesforce orgs, with their abundance of core APIs, become one of those systems. So MuleSoft can connect and leverage your existing Salesforce environment and the integration options I spoke about earlier using those pre-built connectors. Then remember that powerful Salesforce platform as a service I highlighted at the beginning, the one you are already familiar with and using today. While MuleSoft provides a complete platform for integrating every part of your business, Salesforce also provides its own set of leading capabilities for extending business processes and data in the Lightning platform. Salesforce delivers a complete solution across marketing, sales, commerce, service, and more through the Customer 360 platform, as well as the ability to build custom applications and experiences. Then Heroku provides another layer in the platform as a service value multiplier. Remember that Heroku lets you and your developers build, deliver, monitor, and scale apps in the language of your choice and without having to manage the infrastructure. And since MuleSoft is a place for orchestrating and transforming your data, you can build engaging experiences and applications on Heroku that directly integrate to all of your enterprise data through MuleSoft. Furthermore, we've seen times when there is a need, from an enterprise architecture standpoint, to have a persistent data layer for a MuleSoft network. A database running on Heroku can help with data processing or as a data lake, as data is flowing both in and out of Heroku via MuleSoft. And Heroku can work seamlessly with your existing Salesforce data through Heroku Connect, that bidirectional sync of data between a database running on Heroku and your standard and custom objects in Salesforce. Remember the example I spoke about earlier, where a customer accesses a mobile portal running on Heroku, but the service agents are using Service Cloud and the data can stay in sync across the two? And there are other use cases, running apps that connect multiple Salesforce orgs, or using Heroku as a data replication for Salesforce. So we can see that utilizing these platforms together provides a value multiplier, as we at Salesforce have made huge investments to ensure they have been optimized to work together. So you might ask, do I really need all three? Well, they each provide their own distinct purpose. The Salesforce platform lets you build a powerful system of engagement for frontline employees and real-world customers. If you are using Salesforce today, then you already have this in place. Heroku can be used for complex workloads and bespoke user experiences, while MuleSoft can be woven into the fabric of your enterprise data systems and services with a single consistent platform. Some customers start with one or two and add on as they go. Like I said, if you are running Salesforce today, then you already have the Salesforce platform in place and can utilize the tools and features you already know and use. MuleSoft and Heroku can easily complement that existing investment in Salesforce. Either way, be sure to know that each provides high value to our customers, and there is a value multiplier effect when they are utilized jointly. That is why we say this combination of Salesforce, Heroku, and MuleSoft can change the pace of innovation. We are powering true digital transformation for our customers. Applications can be built quickly and built to scale and be future-proof. And ultimately, this means better customer, partner, and employee experiences, more meaningful and more connected experiences. Salesforce and Heroku can be the system of engagement even if the data doesn't reside there. This results in greater visibility into your customer-centric applications as MuleSoft frees up and makes data actionable across the enterprise. As we wind down today, let's look at an architectural example of Salesforce, Heroku, and MuleSoft working together. In this example, Heroku provides a data persistence and data enrichment layer. When connecting multiple systems that have varying data models, it is a best practice to aggregate your data and normalize it before making it available to your systems of record. This is represented as the Heroku Data Hub. Heroku often serves as a data agility layer where multiple sources of data can flow, powered by MuleSoft, and be normalized. And this also provides a simplified point of entry to integrate with Salesforce via Heroku Connect. With that data in place, you can run business apps or build consolidated views of data, leveraging the compute power of Heroku, as well as use tools on top like Einstein Analytics or Tableau for reporting and analytics. Before we close, let's look at a customer story. The Credit Union of Texas has been around for almost 90 years and serves over 160,000 members across the U.S., while offering a full range of financial services products like personal loans and mortgages, in addition to the standard financial accounts you'd expect. The company was facing intense market pressure and therefore needed to deliver on a more personalized customer experience and automate key business processes. Furthermore, infrastructure costs and maintenance, plus the prolonged time it took IT to fulfill business requests, was causing them to miss out on critical business opportunities. They looked to Salesforce for a solution, which was really twofold. One, they were able to quickly implement Financial Services Cloud with its pre-built data model and business process support for retail banking. Two, they leveraged MuleSoft to integrate Salesforce with various business applications, such as their core banking application. This enabled the credit union to unify the customer experience across various channels and offer more personalized customer interactions. This joint solution helped quite a bit. Time to develop new applications was reduced from as much as 6 months to 3 weeks. They saw a 160% increase in leads per month, with a 430% increase in conversions, plus over 50% decrease in time to process loans, with a 75% reduction in processing costs. And that wraps up the presentation. If you'd like to learn more, please visit the variety of resources that Salesforce offers at sites like salesforce.com, developer.salesforce.com, and our free learning management system, Trailhead. I have also listed a couple additional resources here on this slide specific to the products and integration patterns and strategies we discussed today. See how Webster Bank helps small businesses with a streamlined PPP loan process amidst COVID by going to sfdc.co/Webster, and take a deep dive into our integration patterns by visiting sfdc.co/patterns. Hopefully you were able to see how Salesforce, MuleSoft, and Heroku have been optimized to work together to provide a value multiplier for both Salesforce-centric integration as well as enterprise integration across all of your systems, devices, and experiences. Thanks go out to all of our Salesforce customers and trailblazers, and thank you so much for watching the session. Have a great day.